Chosen one, have you been wondering why everyone you get close to seems to slip away? Why do they vanish just when you thought the connection was real? Why do people drift from your life, sometimes suddenly, sometimes slowly, until you're left standing alone again, confused, hurt, maybe even angry? If these questions echo in your soul, then this message was sent directly to you, right on time. It's not a coincidence. It's not random. And no, it's not your fault. This message has arrived at a divine hour, and it's going to open your eyes. I want you to listen closely, not just with your ears, but with your spirit. Because what I'm about to share will bring clarity to a pattern that has haunted you for years. You are not cursed. You are not abandoned. You are not broken. You are chosen. And this constant losing of people, this repeated cycle of separation, is not just happening to you. It's happening for you. You've been going through what many refuse to understand, a divine separation. And until you truly see the reason behind it, you'll continue to think you're doing something wrong. But the truth is, you're doing everything right. Now, before we go any further, I need you to do something for your spirit. If you've ever felt the pain of watching people walk out of your life, if you've cried in silence wondering why no one stays, comment 777 right now. Let others see that they're not alone. Let your agreement be a witness. This is your spiritual tribe. We speak the same language here. And if this message already stirs something deep inside, then like the video, subscribe to Rise of the Chosen, and tap the bell icon. Share this message with another chosen one who's quietly hurting, because many are secretly suffering through what you're about to understand clearly. This isn't just another video. This is an awakening moment for your soul. You see, when you are truly chosen, you don't fit in with just anyone. You were never meant to. From birth, you've been marked by the divine. Your spirit carries a frequency not everyone can handle. And as you begin your spiritual awakening, that energy becomes louder, stronger, more undeniable. And here's what most people won't tell you. That energy exposes people. It reveals intentions. It stirs what's hidden. This is why you keep losing people close to you. When your soul begins to elevate, your light shines into the shadows of those around you. And not everyone is ready to face what that light reveals. Some will feel convicted. Others will feel exposed. A few will even feel threatened, and many will simply vanish, not because you pushed them away, but because your energy was a mirror, and they couldn't stand to see their own reflection. Chosen one, I know that hurts. I know it feels unfair, but this is sacred. This is part of the loneliness of the chosen one. You were never called to walk with the crowd. You were called to walk with purpose, and sometimes purpose demands purification. God doesn't remove people from your life to punish you. He removes them to protect you, to prepare you, to preserve the integrity of your spiritual mission. And let me say this clearly. You're not hard to love. You're just not easy to fool. And because of that, many who came close to you, who wore masks, who had hidden motives, couldn't survive long in your presence. Your spirit is too sharp. Your discernment too high. They couldn't fake it around you, not for long, so they leave, or they switch up, or they betray you. And while it hurts deeply, it is also divine. You've prayed for growth, you've prayed for purpose, you've prayed for truth. And with that comes the cost of pruning. You cannot carry everyone into your next level. Some relationships were only meant for one season, not for your entire story. And I know that sounds cold, but spiritually, it's holy. It's sacred obedience. There's a reason why Jesus often withdrew from the crowds, and even why he was betrayed by someone close. There's a reason why prophets lived lonely lives. Why mystics and spiritual warriors were often misunderstood. Because elevation separates. Light divides from darkness. And truth walks alone before it walks in unity. Now I want you to ask yourself, what if that person didn't leave you? What if they were removed? What if their exit was not abandonment, but a divine rescue in disguise? What if losing them saved you from an energy that would have drained your destiny dry? Chosen one, you must understand this. The divine will offend your emotions to protect your spirit. The people you're losing were not sent for your forever. They were sent for your lesson. And the lesson wasn't about them. It was about you. It was to teach you how to stand tall even when you feel empty. To teach you how to discern who's real, who's aligned, and who only came to distract you from awakening. This message is shaking something in your spirit right now. I can feel it. That's because the truth always liberates. It might sting, yes, but it also heals. You don't need closure from people who never had the capacity to understand you. You don't need to chase after what walked away, because what's leaving you now is making space for what's aligned with the future version of you. Chosen one, you are entering a new season, and in this season, alignment is everything. Some relationships were built on your old self, but that self is gone. You're changing, you're growing, you're ascending, and as you do, don't be surprised when everything not rooted in truth begins to fall away. So, take a breath, wipe your tears, and welcome the divine separation as a sacred necessity. Don't resist it, respect it. Don't grieve it forever. Grow from it, because what's coming to replace what you lost will be rooted in purpose, in purity, and in peace. Before we move on, take a moment to honor this awareness. Comment 444 if you now realize that some losses were actually divine upgrades. Declare it, speak it, share it. Let others know this is no longer the season of confusion. This is the season of clarity. Now let's go deeper. Let me show you exactly why this keeps happening to you and why it means you're on the right path. Because trust me, when you see it for what it truly is, you'll never look at loss the same way again. You're different for a reason. And it shows, chosen one. The reason people pull away from you, distance themselves, or even betray you often has very little to do with what you say or do. It's who you are. It's the way your spirit moves in a room, the way your silence speaks volumes, the way your presence unsettles people who are still pretending. You are not like the rest, and deep down, you've always known it. Maybe you tried to hide it. Maybe you've watered yourself down to fit in, to be liked, to be loved, but the truth is, your difference was never a defect, it was always divine design. When you walk into a space, something shifts. It may be subtle, but it's there. You stir the atmosphere. You awaken things in people, things they've buried, things they're running from. You're a walking reminder that truth still exists in a world full of illusion, and that makes you a problem for the ones who thrive in falsehood. You weren't created to blend in, you were created to reveal. And that revelation doesn't always make people applaud. Sometimes it makes them retreat. Sometimes it makes them react. Sometimes it makes them reject you outright. And that rejection hurts until you realize what it's actually confirming. That you carry something sacred, something rare, something this world can't quite categorize. You are not just a person, you're a portal. When people encounter you, they're not just meeting you, they're meeting the spiritual frequency you carry. Your words might be simple, but your energy speaks on levels they can't explain. That's why strangers either love you deeply or leave you quickly. That's why acquaintances get close for a while and then pull back, confused by the intensity of the connection. It's not you that overwhelms them. It's what you represent. You represent change. You represent elevation. You represent truth that can't be ignored. And when someone is still attached to a version of themselves they haven't outgrown yet, your presence feels like a confrontation. Not because you're attacking them, but because you expose everything they've been avoiding. This is part of your spiritual awakening. As you awaken to your divine identity, the people around you will be forced to either rise with you or fall away. Some will try to hold on, but they'll feel the shift in your energy and begin to struggle. They won't be able to connect like before. Conversations will feel different. Interactions will seem off. It's not because anything is wrong. It's because you're no longer operating on the same frequency. And you need to know this. People don't leave your life because you're too much. They leave because you're too true. And truth doesn't always feel good. It doesn't always entertain. Sometimes it convicts. Sometimes it cuts. And while some will be drawn to you for that exact reason, others will run from you because of it. Chosen one. Your difference is your assignment. You weren't sent to copy the world. You were sent to awaken it. You weren't sent to mimic others. You were sent to embody something pure, something higher. That means you will often be misunderstood, especially by those who are still sleeping spiritually. You'll be labeled intense, too deep, too sensitive, too serious. Let them talk. Let them misunderstand. Because you weren't born to be explained. You were born to be experienced. And experience doesn't always make sense to the mind, but it stirs the soul. That's what you do. You stir souls, you shake foundations, you break illusions, and you do it just by being fully yourself. Let me tell you something very clearly. The moment you stop trying to dim your light to make others comfortable, the moment you stop apologizing for being who you truly are, is the moment you'll feel peace. Because trying to fit into spaces where your spirit never belonged is exhausting. You weren't called to sit at every table. You were called to build altars. You weren't chosen for popularity. You were chosen for purpose. So if you've lost people because of your growth, because you spoke truth, because your energy shifted, let it be. Stop chasing those who walked away when your real self showed up. That wasn't love. That was tolerance. And you were never meant to be tolerated. You were meant to be honored, and you will be. In divine timing, the right people, your spiritual tribe, will recognize you not for what you can do, but for who you truly are. They will not be intimidated by your light. They will be inspired by it. They will not run from your truth. They will run with it. So hold your head high, chosen one. You're different because you were designed to disturb the normal. You were designed to awaken the sleeping. And yes, you will lose people along the way, but never lose yourself in the process. Let your difference shine unapologetically. It's not a mistake. It's the mark of the chosen, the divine separation. When God pulls you out, chosen one, you need to understand something sacred. When God is truly preparing you for something great, He will begin to separate you. And not softly, not gently. It will feel like being ripped away from everything you once leaned on, from people you once called family, from environments you thought were safe, from habits, comfort zones, and sometimes even your own thoughts. This is what we call divine separation. It's when heaven interrupts your patterns and begins to reposition your life according to divine order. At first, it feels like loss, deep, personal, painful loss. But in truth, it's holy alignment. Divine separation isn't punishment. It's purification. It's God saying, you can't carry this weight into your next season. It will break you. Let me cut it away before it corrupts what I've placed inside you. Chosen one, God loves you too much to let you stay connected to things that poison your calling. He won't allow distractions to have long-term access to someone He's appointed for higher work. So people will leave, doors will close, opportunities will fall through, relationships will collapse, and it'll seem like everything is going wrong. But behind the scenes, God is pulling you out of what doesn't serve your future. Some of the people you're crying over weren't sent to walk your entire path. They were only meant to accompany you for a short chapter. And when that chapter ends, the divine hand turns the page, whether you're ready or not. And I know that feels unfair. I know it hurts. But you must remember, God sees what you cannot. He hears the conversations behind closed doors. He knows the intentions people hide behind smiles. And when your assignment becomes too valuable to risk, He starts cutting access. You see, being chosen comes with a spiritual price. You are not common, you are not ordinary, and because of that, your journey will not look like everyone else's. Most people get to hold on to their childhood friends. Most people get to stay in the same places, around the same circles. But not you. Not when there's something sacred on your life. Not when you've been marked for purpose. Divine separation means your spirit is no longer compatible with your old surroundings. You may try to stay, you may try to force connections, but something will feel off. Conversations will start to clash. Energy will begin to shift. The things that used to excite you will feel empty. That's not depression, that's spiritual redirection. It's heaven whispering, you've outgrown this level. It's time to rise. But hear this, chosen one. Just because the separation is divine doesn't mean it won't hurt. It does. God will break your heart to save your soul. He will allow the departure of what you thought you needed to reveal what you truly carry. There will be nights you won't understand. Mornings where you wake up feeling abandoned. But all of it is working. Every tear, every goodbye, every silent exit, it's sculpting you for purpose. This is where most people give up. They confuse divine separation with personal failure. They start blaming themselves, thinking, what did I do wrong? But you didn't fail. You followed the light. You followed truth. And not everyone can follow you there. You were not rejected. You were rescued. Let that sink in. That relationship that ended without explanation, that friend who suddenly stopped calling, that job that fell apart just when you thought things were stable. Those were divine exits. They were God saying, this can't come with you. And you may not see it now, but later you'll look back and thank Him for every single one. Divine separation prepares you for divine elevation. You can't ascend while being weighed down by what was never meant to be permanent. Some of you are trying to drag people with you into a place they were never called to enter. And that's why your journey feels heavy. That's why you're drained. Because you're carrying attachments God already cut. Chosen one, you've got to release it. Let it go. Let them go. Not out of anger, not out of bitterness, but out of obedience. Trust that if God removed them, He knows something you don't. And He's not trying to hurt you, He's trying to heal you. If this word is touching you right now, if it feels like God has been pulling people out of your life without explanation, comment 333. Let heaven and earth see that you are awake and aware. Let your spirit agree with what it already knows. This separation is sacred. It might be lonely. It might feel like you're walking through a wilderness. But what's waiting on the other side is worth every step. Don't fear the silence. Don't fight the process. Trust the divine separation. It's not rejection. It's redirection. You are being repositioned, not punished. You are being protected, not forgotten. This isn't the end. This is the beginning of your real alignment. Let the separation happen. It's not pulling you down. It's preparing to lift you higher. Why they leave, what they can't handle about you, chosen one. Let's talk truth. People don't leave you because you did something wrong. They leave because they can't handle what's right about you. It's not your weakness that makes people walk away. It's your strength. It's not your flaws that scare them. It's your light. You carry something in your spirit that confronts everything false around you. And for many, that confrontation is too intense, too real, too pure. They don't leave because you're hard to love. They leave because your love demands something deeper. It demands honesty, accountability, growth, and let's be real. Not everyone wants that. People say they want real love, real friendship, real connection. But when they come close to someone who actually embodies it, their walls start shaking. Their masks start slipping. And before you know it, they run. Your presence is powerful. Not because you try to be, but because it exposes what's weak in others. You walk into a room, and without saying a word, you reveal who's hiding, who's pretending, who's not ready. You weren't designed to fit in. You were designed to shift the atmosphere. And that kind of presence is either healing or convicting. There's rarely an in-between. Some people were drawn to your energy before they understood what it would cost them to stay. They liked how you made them feel at first. Safe, seen, understood. But then something shifted. They started to feel small in your presence, not because you made them feel that way, but because they were forced to look at parts of themselves they've been avoiding. And instead of growing, they chose to go. Chosen one, your spiritual awakening didn't just change you, it changed what your spirit would tolerate. The old version of you may have entertained nonsense, accepted half-effort love, tolerated one-sided loyalty, but the awakened you see through it. You sense fakeness from a mile away. You feel when someone's not right in their spirit, and when you stop pretending not to notice, it scares people. You can't fake shallow. You can't do surface level. You can't pretend everything's okay when the energy is off. You ask questions others don't want to answer. You speak truths that others aren't ready to hear. You confront dynamics that others are content to ignore. And for those who aren't growing, you become a mirror they don't want to face. They leave because they can't manipulate you. They can't charm you. They can't keep you around with sweet lies. You've seen too much. You know too much. You feel too deeply. Your discernment is too strong. You make it impossible for them to remain in deception. And for those whose identity is tied to illusion, your presence becomes unbearable. It's not about being perfect. It's about being real, and real is rare. Real is raw. Real exposes what's fake. So the fakes flee. The insecure ones attack. The unsure ones distance themselves. And yes, it hurts. Yes, it stings when someone you cared about walks away. But don't take it personally. Their exit was a response to your elevation. Sometimes people leave not because they don't care, but because they can't stay in the same space with someone who's growing faster than they are. They can't relate anymore. They feel out of place. And instead of rising, they retreat. Chosen one, you were never meant to keep everyone. Some people were assignments, not allies. Some were lessons, not lifelines. And when they leave, it's confirmation, not of your inadequacy, but of your authenticity. You were not abandoned. You were revealed. Their departure revealed who they really were. It showed who could handle the real you and who couldn't. And that is a gift. Painful, yes, but sacred. Because now you don't have to guess. You don't have to chase. You don't have to convince anyone of your worth. You are not too much. You are exactly enough for the people meant to walk with you. And those people, they won't just stay, they'll grow with you. They'll rise with you. They'll see your power and not flinch. They'll witness your light and not run. So the next time someone leaves, don't ask, why am I not enough? Ask instead, what part of me couldn't they handle? And know the answer will always lead you back to your calling, your truth, your anointing. Chosen one, people may leave, but your purpose never will. Keep walking, keep shining. The ones who are meant for you will not only stay, they'll thrive in your light. Your presence is a mirror. And not everyone likes their reflection. Chosen one, there's something about you that makes people uncomfortable, even when you've done nothing wrong. You speak gently, you move in peace, you lead with love. But still, some people avoid you, criticize you, or disappear altogether. Have you ever wondered why that happens? Why people who once claimed to care about you suddenly shift the moment you begin to grow? It's because your presence is a mirror, and not everyone likes what they see when they stand in front of it. You don't just show up with physical form, you show up with spiritual weight, a vibration, an energy, a truth. And that truth reflects whatever others are carrying inside of them. Some will stand in your presence and feel inspired, awakened, even healed, but others will feel exposed, convicted, even ashamed. Not because you judged them, but because your light revealed the shadows they've been hiding from. The chosen one doesn't need to preach to make people uncomfortable. Your life preaches. Your walk preaches. Your silence preaches. The way you choose peace over chaos, truth over popularity, integrity over convenience, those choices act as spiritual glass. When others look at you, they see the version of themselves they could be if they stopped running from their growth. That's powerful, but also threatening. When someone is hiding behind pride, ego, jealousy, bitterness, or illusion, your energy doesn't feel like comfort. It feels like confrontation. Even if your intention is pure, your very presence forces them to face what they've ignored, their brokenness, their patterns, their immaturity, and that kind of reflection is too much for people who aren't ready to be honest with themselves. This is why some people lash out at you when you've done nothing but love them. It's why they twist your words, project their guilt onto you, or create distance without warning. It's not really you they're fighting. It's the version of themselves they see through you, and they're not ready to meet that version yet. Chosen one, you were born with spiritual clarity. Even when you didn't have the words for it, you could feel when someone was lying. You could sense when someone's smile wasn't genuine. And as you've walked deeper into your awakening, that clarity has only sharpened. You are a discerner, a revealer, and that's not something everyone is comfortable being around. Your energy is clean, and clean energy stirs what's dirty. It unsettles what's unhealed, and many would rather avoid that than face it. So they leave, or they change, or they try to dim your light so they don't have to see themselves so clearly anymore. But here's the truth you must hold on to. Their discomfort is not your burden. You are not responsible for the reflection they see in your mirror. You didn't create their wounds. You just made them visible. You didn't break them. You just stopped pretending their brokenness was normal. And for that, you will often be misunderstood. But don't shrink because of it. Don't apologize for your clarity. Don't dull your energy so that others feel less convicted. That mirror you carry is sacred. It is divine. And while it may cause some to run away, it will also draw the right people in. People who are ready to grow. People who welcome truth. People who've been searching for someone who sees them, not just their potential, but their pain. Chosen one, your presence is a call to higher living. And some people aren't ready to answer that call. Let them go. Not out of anger, but out of understanding. If they leave your life because of the reflection they saw, that only confirms the power you carry. Because mirrors don't lie, they just reveal. And your spirit is one big, sacred, spiritual mirror. So keep being real, keep being whole, keep showing up in your full light. Those who are ready will thank you for the reflection, and those who aren't, they were never meant to stay in your presence for long. You weren't sent to reflect people's comfort, you were sent to reflect their truth. And truth, as powerful as it is, will always divide. But never forget, division often precedes elevation. Your mirror is holy. Let it shine, let it reflect, and let the light do what it was sent to do. The loneliness of the chosen. A rite of passage. Chosen one, let's speak plainly. You've felt it for as long as you can remember. That quiet, persistent ache of being different. The silence that surrounds you even when you're in a room full of people. The feeling of not fully belonging anywhere. That's not just sadness. That's not just introversion. That is the loneliness of the chosen, and it is not a curse. It is a rite of passage. Before God elevates a soul, He isolates it. Before He reveals your purpose, He hides you. He pulls you away from the noise, the comfort, the familiar. And in that sacred solitude, He begins to strip you of everything that is not rooted in truth. The people fade, the distractions fall away, the masks drop, and suddenly you are left with nothing but Him and yourself. This is not punishment, it's preparation. Many want to walk in divine authority, but few are willing to endure divine isolation. You can't carry a chosen calling with crowded energy. You can't hear God clearly when the noise of the world surrounds you, so He makes you quiet. He removes the extras. He allows the loneliness to settle, not to break you, but to build you. Chosen one, think about how many times you tried to explain what you were going through and no one understood. How many times you reached out, only to be met with silence. How many nights you cried, not because someone left, but because you couldn't figure out why everyone had to. That ache in your chest wasn't abandonment, it was transformation. It was heaven doing heart surgery. You see, when you are marked by God, your training doesn't happen in public. It happens in the cave, in the wilderness, in the shadows. This is where clarity is born, where discernment sharpens, where your soul gets aligned with something eternal, and loneliness becomes the teacher, the purifier, the revealer of identity. This is why the chosen ones in Scripture, Moses, Elijah, David, even Jesus himself, spent long periods alone. Isolation preceded their assignments. They were misunderstood, cast out, hunted, and hidden. But it was in that silence that their spirits were strengthened, their ears tuned to the voice of the divine, their eyes opened to things the crowd would never see. And you, chosen one, are no different. This season of loneliness you're walking through is not empty. It's pregnant with revelation, the conversations you're not having with people, you're having with God. The love you're not receiving from others, you're learning to receive from within. You're not being punished, you're being trusted. Because loneliness teaches you who you are without applause, without validation, without someone clapping for your every move. It teaches you to hear God's voice in stillness, to find peace in His presence, to be okay with being unseen, unheard, and unknown for a season, so that when you are revealed, you carry no pride, only purpose. If this is resonating in your soul, if you've been feeling alone for no clear reason, I want you to comment 333 right now. Let this be a sign that you are in agreement with this season of growth, that you're not running from the loneliness anymore, you're learning from it, because something powerful happens when you stop fighting solitude and start embracing it. You begin to see the difference between loneliness and being alone. Being alone is external. Loneliness is spiritual, and what feels like separation is often spiritual insulation. God is wrapping you in divine stillness so He can work on you undisturbed. And yes, there will be days when the silence is too loud, when you long for someone to understand, to simply be there. But every time you sit in that space without rushing to fill it with noise, you're proving that your foundation is being rebuilt. Stronger, purer, unshakable. So hold on, chosen one. The loneliness will not last forever. But while it's here, let it shape you. Let it prepare you. Let it teach you how to stand without the crowd, how to walk without applause, and how to shine without permission. Because when this season ends, and it will end, you will emerge not needy but whole, not bitter but wise, not empty but overflowing. And then you will look back and realize that the loneliness was never sent to destroy you. It was sent to reveal the one you were always meant to become. Relationships that were never meant to last, but served a purpose. Chosen one, not every relationship is meant to be forever. Some people entered your life not to stay, but to spark something, to awaken something, to teach you something. And when their purpose was fulfilled, the connection began to break, not because it failed, but because it finished. You must understand this deeply. Some relationships were assignments, not alignments. They came with an expiration date, even if your heart wasn't ready to let go. You may still carry the memory of certain people, someone you loved deeply, someone you trusted completely, someone you believed would always be there. And when they left, it shattered you. You asked why. You begged for answers. You felt abandoned, betrayed, and confused. But what if I told you it wasn't rejection? What if I told you their presence in your life was never meant to be eternal? but rather seasonal. The divine doesn't waste connections. Every person who enters your story carries a mirror, a message, or a moment of activation. Some come to stretch you. Some come to humble you. Others come to expose what needs healing. Their purpose is sacred, even if their presence was temporary. And yes, it hurts when people you loved turn into strangers. When the laughter fades, when the conversations die out, when you see them move on while you're still sitting with the weight of it all. But hear this, chosen one. Their exit doesn't cancel the purpose they served. And your pain doesn't cancel the growth you gained. You learned things in those relationships you couldn't have learned any other way. You discovered your strength, your resilience, your limits, your patterns. You saw where you ignored red flags. You saw where you gave too much. You saw where you held on when God was telling you to let go. That knowledge wasn't cheap. It was paid for with your tears. But it wasn't wasted. Chosen one. Part of your spiritual awakening is realizing that purpose often comes wrapped in pain, that not everyone who helped you grow was meant to stay by your side, and not everyone who walked with you in one chapter is qualified to walk into the next. Some people came into your life as bridges, not as destinations, and if you confuse the two, you'll end up stuck where God meant for you to pass through. It's time to release the guilt, the what-ifs, the overthinking. It's time to stop trying to resurrect connections God Himself allowed to die. You don't need to fix what was never meant to be forever. You need to honor it, thank it, and move forward. You see, every soul carries its own path, and sometimes those paths align for a moment, a year, a few years, and then they part. Not because either person is bad, not because love didn't exist, but because purpose has been fulfilled, the lesson has been learned, the vibration has shifted. Chosen one, this is maturity, this is spiritual growth. Understanding that letting go is not always loss, it is release, and release is necessary for elevation. So if you're still grieving a connection that felt divine but ended suddenly, breathe. You didn't fail. You didn't imagine it. It was real, but it was also temporary. And that's okay, because now you are wiser, you are clearer, you are stronger. That relationship served its purpose, and now it's time for you to serve yours, with open hands, an open heart, and no bitterness. Just gratitude for what was, and peace for what's ahead. You are being protected, hidden grace behind the loss. Chosen one, what if I told you that the people who left you were never meant to stay? Not because you were unworthy, but because your destiny was too valuable to be mishandled. What if every closed door, every betrayal, every goodbye was a divine form of protection? You've been crying over loss, but heaven has been rejoicing over your rescue. There is hidden grace behind every departure, and it's time you see it. You have no idea what God shielded you from. The betrayal that never had the chance to unfold. The manipulation that was cut short. The energy drain that would have killed your purpose. Some people didn't just walk away, they were removed. Their access was denied by divine order, because your soul is too sacred to be entangled with counterfeit connections. God saw what you couldn't see, heard what you never heard, and removed what you wouldn't remove yourself. You asked for peace, didn't you? You asked for clarity, for elevation, for purpose, and God answered by subtracting what didn't align. At first it felt like rejection, like abandonment, like punishment, but now you're beginning to understand. It was protection, because the chosen one cannot carry corrupted energy into their next dimension. Some losses saved your life, some endings preserved your calling. There were people around you who wore loyalty like a mask, who smiled while secretly envying you, who embraced you while silently competing with your spirit. And the more your light grew, the more their true nature was exposed. And instead of forcing you to discover it the hard way, God cut the cord. Chosen one, you are set apart. That means not everyone can walk with you, not because they're evil, but because their presence would have delayed your becoming. You were starting to trust people who didn't understand your value. You were starting to normalize dysfunction, tolerate imbalance, accept crumbs. And God said no more. He stepped in, sometimes without warning, and started removing people, even ones you begged him to let you keep. That's not cruelty, that's care. That's the love of a father who sees the trap before you fall into it, the sabotage before it reaches your path, the heartbreak before it hits your heart. And because your calling is real, your path must be clear. You are being preserved for something greater, and protection always feels like pain before it looks like purpose. Think back for a moment. Remember that person you couldn't let go of, the one you prayed to keep? Now look at the peace you've found since they left, the clarity, the energy, the strength. You thought their absence would break you, but it built you. That wasn't coincidence, that was divine strategy. So stop questioning why they left. Start thanking God that they did. Stop replaying the moment they disappeared and start recognizing the doors that opened after they were gone. You've been protected, even in your heartbreak. And that protection is proof of how deeply loved and divinely guided you are. Chosen one, you are not forgotten. You are not alone. You are not being punished. You are being hidden, kept, guarded for something holy. Let the loss go. What you lost was never greater than what's being prepared for you. Your protection may have come wrapped in pain, but it was a gift, and once you stop grieving what left, you'll begin to see what stayed. Peace, strength, purpose, and you'll realize that sometimes the greatest blessing is not what God gives you, but what He takes away. The shift in vibration, outgrowing the familiar chosen one of the most subtle yet powerful signs of spiritual growth is when the things, places, and people you once loved no longer feel the same. Not because they changed, but because you did. This is the shift in vibration, and it's not something you force. It happens naturally as your spirit evolves, as your energy refines, as your soul elevates into alignment with your divine assignment. You're not losing interest in people or places because you're cold. You're not becoming distant because you're arrogant. What's really happening is that your vibration is rising, and everything that once resonated with your lower self begins to fall out of tune. It doesn't click, it doesn't sit right, it doesn't feed you like it used to. That's not failure, it's evolution. You begin to feel the shift when old conversations feel shallow. When the company you once enjoyed now drains you. When the environments you once thrived in start to feel suffocating. You try to engage, to reconnect, to reignite, but nothing fits anymore. That's the frequency changing. Your soul is no longer aligned with what once felt familiar. Chosen one, this is a sign you're doing something right. You're not stuck, you're growing. And growth always creates distance from the past. When you awaken spiritually, your aura expands, your sensitivity heightens, and your standards shift. It's not that you're trying to be different, you've simply become different. But here's the challenge. This shift in vibration often feels like loneliness, like you're floating in between worlds. You're no longer who you used to be, but you haven't yet stepped fully into who you're becoming. It's an in-between phase, and it can be confusing. But don't go backwards. Don't dim your light just to feel connection again. Don't lower your vibration just to be accepted by the old crowd. Outgrowing the familiar is uncomfortable, but it's holy. Because what you're growing into requires a new environment, a new mindset, and eventually a new circle. Let the space between now and what's next be sacred. Let it stretch you. Let it refine your discernment. And trust, new alignments are on their way. If this message is stirring something inside you, if you've been feeling disconnected from the old but not yet connected to the new, comment 999 below. That number signifies the completion of a cycle and the beginning of something far more aligned with your spirit. Chosen one, Your vibration is shifting for a reason. You're not here to stay the same. You're here to evolve, to awaken, to ascend. And sometimes that means outgrowing the very things you once thought would be forever. Let it happen. Don't fear the disconnection. Embrace the transformation. Because the more you rise, the clearer your path will become, and the closer you get to your divine destiny. When new alignments arrive, God will send your people chosen one. The loss you've experienced was never meant to leave you empty. It was meant to make room for people who see you, feel you, and align with the real you. Because once you've gone through the divine separation, once you've outgrown the familiar and shifted your vibration, new alignments begin to appear. And these alignments aren't forced. They're not rooted in fear or need or performance. They're God-sent. You've been walking through a season of pruning, a season where everything that wasn't real, wasn't healthy, or wasn't in harmony with your purpose has been stripped away. That felt like isolation. But isolation was just preparation, because now you're ready. Now your energy matches your calling. And heaven responds to that kind of clarity by sending divine connections. The people God sends into your life in this next season will not drain you. They will not doubt you. They will not make you question your worth. Instead, they will affirm what God has already spoken over your life. They will see your light, and instead of shrinking from it, they will shine with it. They will speak your language, feel your spirit, and recognize the weight of your calling without explanation. You won't have to beg for loyalty. You won't have to shrink yourself to be understood. These people will meet you where you are, because they've been walking their own path of purification. And when your frequencies meet, there will be no confusion, only confirmation. Chosen one. Your tribe is not found by chasing people. It's found by standing in your truth. And as you do, as you keep rising, keep healing, keep walking in alignment, they will be drawn to your light. Not for what you can give, but for who you are. Not to use you, but to walk with you. So don't give up. Don't let the past trick you into believing you'll always be alone. You won't. You are just being prepared for real, rooted, righteous connection. And those kinds of connections can't be rushed. They arrive in divine timing, often when you least expect it, but always when you're ready. Chosen one. Hold on to this truth. You didn't lose your people. You just hadn't met them yet, but they're coming. And when they arrive, you'll understand why nothing else worked. Why every false connection had to fall away, why every betrayal was necessary, why every goodbye made space for the right hello. You are entering a season of divine alignment. Stay open, stay faithful, stay true. The people sent by God will not make you question your worth. They will remind you of it. And when they come, you won't have to wonder. You'll just know, these are my people. How to handle the pain. Without getting bitter, chosen one, when people walk away, when trust is broken, when the ones you loved become memories, you don't just lose them. You lose pieces of yourself too. The pain runs deep, and if you're not careful, that pain can begin to poison you. It can harden your heart, dim your light, and leave you building walls where God intended for you to build bridges. But this pain, it's not meant to make you bitter. It's meant to make you better. You are allowed to feel it, to cry, to question, to grieve what you thought would last. Spiritual strength doesn't mean emotional numbness. It means feeling deeply, but healing wisely. The danger is not in the pain itself. The danger is in what you do with the pain. Bitterness is not born overnight. It grows in hearts that were never given space to properly mourn. So let yourself mourn, chosen one. Mourn the broken promises. Mourn the unspoken goodbyes. Mourn the love that was real to you, even if it wasn't returned in full. Don't rush to be okay. Don't pretend you're unfazed. God isn't asking you to fake strength. He's asking you to bring your weakness to him. Healing doesn't come by ignoring your wounds. It comes by surrendering them. When you allow yourself to process the pain, to feel it without becoming it, you create space for transformation. And transformation is where power begins. That's when the betrayal turns into wisdom. That's when the disappointment becomes redirection. That's when the scars start to glow, not with shame, but with testimony. The key is forgiveness, not always for them, but for you. Bitterness keeps you spiritually tied to the very thing that broke you. Forgiveness cuts that tie. It doesn't excuse what happened. It doesn't mean it was okay. It just means your heart is too sacred to be weighed down by what no longer belongs. Don't let pain become your personality. Let it become your path to deeper purpose. Use it. Grow from it. Let it teach you discernment. Let it remind you to protect your peace, not just your heart. Let it push you into deeper intimacy with God, because He's the only one who knows exactly how to pour oil on wounds that words can't reach. Chosen one, pain is a fire. It can burn you or it can forge you. You choose which one. When you decide to heal, to stay soft, to remain open to love in a world that has hurt you, you are walking in divine strength. Not everyone can do that, but you can. You're not bitter. You're brave. You're not broken. You're becoming. Keep your heart open, not for their sake, but for your own, because a healed heart still hears God clearly, and clarity is your power. Let the pain pass through you, but don't let it settle in you. You're too chosen for that. Final prophetic word: you were meant to be set apart. Chosen one, hear this final word and let it echo in your spirit. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to stand out, to stand alone, to walk a path few have the strength to endure. And while it has cost you dearly, relationships, comfort, familiarity, it was never a punishment. It was proof that you are set apart, hand-picked, spirit-marked, heaven-approved. All the loneliness, the loss, the confusion, it was part of a divine process to strip away everything that didn't match the calling on your life. God wasn't being cruel. He was being careful, protective, intentional. Because when you're chosen, there is no such thing as an ordinary journey. Your path will look nothing like the crowds because your purpose was never meant to be common. There is glory in your isolation. There is purpose in your rejection. Every goodbye was a divine yes. Every silent departure was the voice of God saying, not this one, not for where you're going. You have been shielded in silence, refined in solitude, and prepared in secret. And now, your spirit knows what your heart has always suspected. You were made for more. You were meant to be misunderstood. You were meant to walk alone for a while. You were meant to be hidden until the right time. And now that time is drawing near. You're not just awakening, you're rising. The people who couldn't stay were never strong enough to walk with the fire you carry. Let them go with love, not resentment. This final word is a reminder. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not cursed. You are becoming. And every tear, every question, every moment of silence was part of your anointing. Your wilderness was not wasted, it was holy ground. The place where your spirit met God in rawness, in truth, in surrender. Chosen one, you are entering a new season. One where your separation becomes your strength. One where your scars become your story. One where your solitude births your spiritual authority. And from this point forward, you walk with clarity. You walk with power. You walk with peace. Not because you understand everything, but because you now trust what it all meant. So, take this last moment and declare it. I was meant to be set apart. Speak it with boldness. Speak it with reverence. Speak it with joy. Because being set apart isn't loneliness. It's leadership. It's calling. It's legacy. The mantle you carry is heavy because the impact you're meant to make is eternal. And now the world will see what heaven has always known. You were never just another soul trying to survive. You were a chosen one, marked to lead, built to endure and born to rise. This is your time. Walk boldly in it.